So now we're going to talk about the SD card that's next, which is right here. Now if you have the navigation system, that is where your navigation card goes into, is the SD card slot that is located in your dashboard. But you also can put pictures up on here, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the settings area. So keep that in mind. Next we're going to go into the AV-in, which is right here. When you click on it, it's going to bring up this little screen with the red, white, and yellow cords. You'll recognize this kind of like in your TV, behind your TV to add maybe your video camera. It works the same way here. Again, we'll show you the spot where the ports are at in your little dashboard area, but it's just to hook up a camera and have it play on the screen, or a portable DVD player, and you hook it into those slots to play on the screen. Remind you though, your car has to be in park in order for it to play anything. Otherwise, when you're driving, for safety precautions, it will not play DVDs or any videos through here while you're driving. So keep that in mind. So now next we're going to show you where that spot is, where you find the AV-in and the SD card slot at. So right here is your SD slot, where you put your SD card if you had photos, for example. But in a navigation system, this is where your navigation card will go, and we'll show you that in the navigation part. You also have your AV-in slots here. You have the yellow, white, and red. This is where you can plug them in to put a camera or a portable DVD player or something like that to play it on the screen in park in your vehicle. So that is where that is located if you ever want to use that. Now what we're going to do is next go into the navigation. This is where your navigation card will be in. If your salesman has not yet given it to you, it'll be located with your books. This is for a navigation MyTouch system. So if your car does not come with navigation, you will not get this car. Keep in mind, not all MyTouches come with navigation. They either have the navigation like this or the SYNC services, which we'll get into later. Right now we're going to talk about the navigation with the SD card. So you can see right here, this little packet, it'll have our SD card. When I open it up, this is where the SD card will be at. So we're going to open this up and put it in its slot. So now we're going to put the SD card into the slot if your salesman has not yet done that. Put it as so, face forward, and it snaps right in. It's saying loading the navigation card. So we're going to let it load up before we click anything. We're going to push OK. And then now we can click into the green area, which is your navigation. Now in this map area, you've got a little different kinds of functions here. So we're going to start with the arrow. You have 3 different views for this arrow. When I click the arrow right here, it's going to change the view. As you see it tilted down, kind of more of a 3D look. Then I'm going to click the red arrow again over here on the side. It's going to give you your north view. When I click the arrow again, it's going to go back to that middle where we started in the beginning. So you just select what is your preferences on how you want the map angled. You have 2 different views, which is one is what we're currently on, where it's the full map. If you push view right here, see how it has a light? When you click it, it's going to show you that there's a second option, which is the map and then directions. So if we were going somewhere, it would give us the list of directions on this side and the map on this side. So I'm going to change it back to the full map. The plus and minuses, this is how far and close you can get to the streets. So when you click the minus here, you can get farther away. If I push the plus, we'll get closer. So again, you just click what is your preferences. When you hit the map, it brings up some icons here, so you can set things as waypoints, save to favorites, and of course your POI icons. What POI icons are is that's a point of interest. So if you're driving around, say for example a new city, and you want to know a restaurant around, you can click on the map, click on POI icons. What will happen is you click restaurants and then hit the back arrow button. So see restaurants lit up here, hit the back arrow button, and what will happen is restaurants will pop up around you, so that way you can just find a restaurant near you. So right here we can click on, for example, a Red Lobster. It'll bring up the address. You can get information off of it and get directions towards it. So I'm going to click and turn my PO icons off, because when you're driving in a bigger city, sometimes it can crowd up your screen, especially if you have a lot of them on. So I'm just going to hide my POIs and hit the back arrow. The back arrow just saves it and keeps what you had just selected, so keep that in mind as well. So now we're back to the original map. Now up here you have a couple things. You have your menu right here. Menu is something you're not going to use a lot. Menu is really just to turn the guidance mute off if you choose not to have the voice on to let you know when to turn. So just right here, if you clicked on it, that just lets you know it's muted. And if you click off it, it's going to turn off the mute. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to close here. Destination is your main button. So when I hit destination, this is where it's going to bring you up to the main categories you can select. Now keep in mind that everything that you can see on here, you can do as voice as well. Everything except your city, center, and of course map. So for example, my home, you can click on here and you can save an address, your home address. You just push yes and then type it in, or say it, however way you want. Favorites, you can add a favorite place into here and add them in. We'll get into that a little bit more later, and I'll show you something great about that. Previous destinations, this just lets you know of previous destinations you've gone to. So if you had entered in, like if you went to a McDonald's or something, it'll show it on here, a list of places you've been. Point of interest, again, that's your POI. That lets you go to restaurants, fuel stations. We'll get to that. Emergency. Emergency is where it'll always take you to the nearest hospital and police station. So if you wanted to search a certain city, you just push the search area and change that. But otherwise, it always automatically gives you a nearby hospital and police. So we're going to hit the back arrow there. Street address, that's where you're going to type in the exact address you want to go to, and we'll practice that in a minute. And then your intersection, this is where you just type in if you're wanting to go to a certain street. So say street 1 will be your main street and street 2 can be a second street or something. And of course your city and state. So we're going to hit back here. So now first we're going to start off is entering in a address manually. So when I hit street address here, first off, it's always going to start in the city. But say if we were going to Texas, remember you'll need to come back and push this and change it to Texas if you wanted to. Otherwise, you can just automatically start out in city. So ours is going to stay in Kansas. We're going to type in the city. So we just type it in here. See how it predicted and went into here. So keep that a little careful. Sometimes a lot of people click on buttons and it's already predicted it. Street. When it talks about street, it's just wanting the street name. So you add the numbers later. Keep that in mind. So our street name is going to be East Waterman. But I'm just going to type in Waterman. And see how it's just predicting what I'm writing. So now it has Waterman. A lot of people, their bad habit is when they see they've typed in the street, they just try to type in the number. Well, when you type in a number or anything like that, it's not going to find what you were looking for. So when you type in your street name, notice there's a 3 right here. And what that 3 is letting me know that there's 3 different kinds of Waterman Street. So it could be like a Waterman Avenue, a Waterman Circle. So you're going to click on that 3. So after you've typed it in and it's got some kind of number right here, you need to click on it. This is going to let me know the different Waterman Streets. So I want the East Waterman Street. So I'm going to select that. Now I can type in my numbers. So you just type it in and it'll take you to that exact address. So we just push the numbers, it's all correct, and I push go, which is located on the bottom right here. It's going to bring me a pinpoint of it. Now you can either save this as favorites, set it as a waypoint, or what I'm going to do is right now set it as a destination.
Obey traffic laws, be alert, and use voice commands while driving. Please proceed to the highlighted route and then the route guidance will start.
So now, when you're driving, you will actually be following this green area. So keep in mind the green area is where it'll let you know. So say if you're driving and we're on the home screen, it's going to let you know when you want to turn and things like that. It's going to prompt you. So if you're listening to the radio or on a phone conversation, do not worry. It's still going to prompt you when to turn. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go back to the navigation area. Now, say if I want to cancel the route. Say I'm done, I've gotten to the address I wanted to be at. You're going to hit destination, and you're going to hit cancel route, how it says right here on the bottom right. Now keep in mind I can push the voice button on the steering wheel and say cancel route as well. So, and I'll teach you that in a little bit. So we've canceled the route and it's gone. So now if we go to our previous destinations, like I said earlier, if we click on that, what's going to happen is there's the address we had. So if you clicked on that, you can save to favorites. When I save to favorites, I'm going to go back, or I can hit destination, either way. In fact, I might just hit destination. You're going to go to your favorites selection, so right here, favorites, click on that. So we saved that Waterman Street. I'm going to click edit here. So say this is actually the Interest Bank Arena. So I'm going to name it. I'm going to just name it Arena. And I'm going to push enter right here. So now I've saved it. Now the reason why it's saying invalid for a voice name tag, this may pop up if you don't name it something more towards a name. The reason why an arena can be the same as a POI. So let's pretend this is somebody's address here, and we're going to backspace here and name it Susie. Space Q. So you push enter. Now it's more of a name. So when I push voice name tag, it's going to be able to enable it because it doesn't sound something like a point of interest would. You could do by voice command.
Susie Q.
And then you can enable that. So then now I can actually push my voice button and say destination Susie Q, and it'll take me there, and I'll show you that. So now we're going to hit the back button, and we're going to hit our home screen. So now say I'm driving, I'm going to push my voice button, which is down here, like I've shown earlier.
Please say a command.
Destination Susie Q.
Setting destination.
So that's a great advantage if you've got family.
Please proceed to the highlighted route, and then the route guidance will start.
So if I click on the navigation area, it's going to show you the map, and we're going to go to Susie Q's house. Now, if I want to cancel the route by voice, I can push the voice button.
Please say a command.
Cancel route.
Are you sure you want to cancel your route?
Yes.
Canceling route.
And then it'll cancel the route for us. So we're going to hit destination again. So now as you can see, the route isn't highlighted, so that means the canceling the route went through. Now, we've typed in a street address manually. We've saved to favorites manually. Now for a point of interest. When you click on a point of interest, you can select things. So say if we wanted to go to a restaurant, we can hit here into restaurant. Now it's going to organize it by either distance, or I can organize it by name. So if we did like by name, for example, say I want to go to a Chili's and click on Chili's. The nice thing about it is it's going to give me a phone number, and I can set it as a destination. So if you want to make a reservation, you can just click on it and it'll call it for you, or you can set it as a destination. Personally, I'm going to go back. I like doing this by voice. I find it a lot easier for me. So you can search by area or search by name and those kind of things, But I'm going to back out of here. I'm going to go to the home screen, and I'm going to show you how to do it by voice. So again, the voice button is located on the steering wheel. It's going to look like a person talking with sound waves coming out of their mouth. So I'm going to click on that.
Please say a command.
Destination POI.
How would you like to search? By name or by category?
By name.
And where would you like to search? Nearby or in a city?
Nearby.
Say the name of the POI.
Old Chicago.
Say a line number.
2.
When ready, press the voice button and then say, set as destination.
So as you can see down here on the bottom left in the red area, it says paused. So that means she's waiting for me to push on the voice button and either say dial, where I can call and set a reservation ahead of time, or I can push the voice button and say set as destination, and it'll give me directions towards Old Chicago. You can do this with hotels, flights, all different kinds of things. So that's the reason why I like the POI. So I'm going to push the voice button. I'm going to say set as destination. Set as destination.
Setting new destination.
And then it computes the routes and start for me.
Turn right onto East Kellogg Drive.
So see how it's giving me some different angles. So now we're going to go and push the voice button and say cancel route.
Please say a command.
Cancel route.
Are you sure you want to cancel your route?
Yes.
Canceling route.
And then it cancels the route for you. So now I can go back over here to destinations. Now we've gone through favorites, we've gone through our previous destinations, our point of interest, which is again fuel stations, financial, restaurants, accommodations. There's a lot more if you click on the all over here. You've got automotive, shopping, all those different things. I'm going to go back here. You've also got your emergency, which we talked about, the street address, and the intersection. So on the map here, when you click on it, you can set things to a set as waypoint. And all that is where you can add multiple addresses or multiple points of where you're wanting to go. And you can change the order of them to what you want it to be. And then you would push over here, which it's not highlighted because we don't have any waypoints, but you would push here, compute route. And what that does is it'll compute a route to it'll compute a route to one waypoint and then to another. So just keep in mind that's in the map. And in the map, you can move it around. So if you're wanting to move around, venture it around, just push and roll your finger over. So that's a little another trick to remember. Okay. So I'm going to hit my home to add my home address. I'm going to push yes. I'm then going to hit street address here on the top right. This is where I can type in my address. So again, make sure I'm in the right state. I'm going to hit city. When I type it in, it's going to try to predict what I'm typing. So make sure it's the right city. It went automatically to street, so see how it's highlighted in green. So I'm going to type in the street name. Again, it's just going to try to predict it, so type a little slower than usual. So see how it comes out. I've got to click on this 3 that's letting me know there's 3 options to a street name Waterman. I click on it. Here it is. And then now I can type in the number. Once I've typed in the number and everything looks correct, here on the bottom right is the word go. That is what you're going to click. And it's now saved to your My Home. So that is done. So now I'm going to delete that. And you can delete it out if you'd like. Now we're going to go back I'm going to hit the home screen here on the bottom. Hit navigation, destination, and then hit favorites. What that's going to do is I can save people in here into favorites. So say if I want to add somebody in here, I'll click add. Again, hit street address. Make sure it's in the right state. So city. Make sure it's street name. Again, make sure it's the right street name. And then type in the number. Hit go on the bottom right. Now, when it's saved, I can add a name to it. This way, it's easier to get to it. So when I hit edit here, I'm going to name it. Push enter on the bottom right. And I'm going to push this voice name tag. What this does when I enable that is it'll make it easier where all I have to do, if say I'm listening to the radio, I can push the voice button and say destination
Susie Q.
I can push the voice button and say destination Susie Q, and it'll take me there. And I'll show you that. So now I hit the back button to save that all. And then I'm going to push my home screen here in the bottom middle. So when I push my voice button, again located on the steering wheel,
Please say a command.
destination Susie Q.
Setting destination.
Now she's going to set it.
Turn right onto East Kellogg Drive.
So I'm going to click the screen corner just to show you the map. And here's what the map's going to look like. So that was a lot easier if you plan ahead your addresses of people's houses that you go to and name them. That way, when you're driving, all you have to do is just push the voice button and say destination and the name. Same thing with phone calling. It's call and the name. So if you put the name in ahead of time, it just makes life a little bit easier. So now I'm going to push the voice button and say cancel route.
Please say a command.
Cancel route.
Are you sure you want to cancel your route?
Yes.
Canceling route.
And the route is gone. So now I'm going to go back and hit destination here. I'm going to go to my favorites. Say I don't want Susie Q in here anymore. I just click delete. Yes. And it's gone. Now we're going to go back. I'm just going to show you one last thing, and that's how to do street address by voice. We've done a point of interest by voice, but we need to do a street address by voice. Again, you can be on your home screen, you could be listening to the radio, whatever you're doing. You just click on the voice button.
Please say a command.
Destination street address.
In Kansas, say the street address including the city.
Now, I'm going to hang up on her for just a second, but you heard in the beginning she said in Kansas. If, for example, say you're going you're going to Texas and it wasn't in Kansas, how she originally just said, you need to say change state. So keep that in mind if it's not in the correct state that you're wanting to go to. Now I'm going to push the voice button and tell her the street address I want to go to. Remember, if it's in a different state, you have to say change state.
Please say a command.
Destination street address.
In Kansas, say the street address including the city.
8100 East 21st Street North, Wichita.
When ready, press the voice button and then say set as destination, or say changed something.
This is where I would push the voice button and say set as destination. Or I can push the voice button, say set as waypoint, or save to my favorites. So keep that in mind. Set as destination.
Setting destination.
So again, it's a lot easier to do things by
The
voice.
route guidance will start now.
And we definitely encourage it while you're driving. So now I'm going to push the voice button and say cancel route.
Please say a command.
Cancel route.
Are you sure you want to cancel your route?
Yes.
Canceling route.
So now that is an overview of everything that is in the navigation area. With more time and with more practice, keep in mind the MyTouch system can do up to 10,000 commands. With a little bit more practice with her and usage, you can say even simpler commands. You can even say I'm hungry and she'll bring up restaurants. So again, practice with your MyTouch and push buttons. It'll really, really help you.